I made a game where the keyboard is the level. Every key you press in real life sends you flying to that location on screen, slashing your sword along the way and damaging all enemies in your path. If you land on an enemy or an enemy touches you while you're standing still, you take damage. There is no stamina system or anything like that to hold you back. You can attack as quickly as you can press the keys on your keyboard. This means you could potentially be making 10 or even 20 attacks a second if you really know what you're doing. But I know what you're thinking. Since you can attack every time you press a key, what's to stop a player from doing this? Well, that answer is in the enemy design. These pillar enemies you've been seeing can be spammed through no problem, and it's pretty fun to do so, but if one of these electrode enemies is on screen, you're gonna have to be a bit more careful. They just sit still and do nothing, but when you hit them, they shoot out a huge wave of electricity. If you're careful, you can avoid them, but if you're just spamming all over the place, you may find yourself triggering a bunch of them and ending up in an electric grave. Or maybe not. Maybe you're fast enough to trigger all of them and live to tell the tale. There's nothing necessarily stopping you except your own ability to survive. You'll never be punished for going fast. You'll just be punished for doing it poorly. Having totally free movement is integral to the game. Initially, I had this idea for an enemy that would hurt you if you attacked it from behind, but I decided that this hurt the free movement aspect of the game. So I took that original concept and altered it. Instead of damaging you if you attack it from behind, it just shoots out a quick projectile in front of it whenever it dies. So it's dangerous to attack it from behind, but you still have a chance to dodge the incoming projectile if you're quick enough. I tried to make sure every enemy had multiple ways you could fight them instead of pigeonholing players into one particular playstyle. But I did want the player to make use of every key on the keyboard, so there are some enemies that are designed to encourage you to do exactly that. Those driller enemies spawn on the edges of the keyboard, so if you're hugging the edges too tight, you may end up getting clipped by them. And then there are these spikes that will break certain keys permanently, so if you've been getting by with only using a select few keys, these may just force you to adapt and switch up your strategy. Now you can still move to the spiked keys, but you're gonna take a little bit of damage when you do. And then we have my favorite enemy, the Crow, which is the only enemy in this forest world that will actually track the player's movement. This stops the player from standing still for too long and getting too comfortable. But sometimes it is best to sit still and wait for the perfect moment to strike, and other times it's best to, Once you start getting the hang of the keyboard, it becomes much faster and more precise than anything else would be. I can honestly say I've never played another game like this. Probably because the only other game I have in my Steam library is Checkers 2, but that's beside the point. Originally, Keyboard Warrior started as a rhythm game, just like Minecraft and Street Fighter 2 Turbo did. Hazards would appear in sync with the music, and you'd have to dodge them on beat. I had to scrap this though because it's just too much, man. Using the keyboard as the controller is already pretty tough, so asking players to do that while syncing up to music just made the whole game too damn hard, and a bit too weird, even for me. So after ditching the rhythm elements, I tried to turn the game into a roguelike, because of course I did. This worked better, but I felt like it took the game away from the focus on the keyboard and instead focused on getting good builds and good items. I wanted the levels to feel very intentional, like a staircase, whereas roguelikes sometimes feel more like a roller coaster with all the randomness and razzmatazz. It was at this point I came to a shocking revelation. Maybe not every game has to be a roguelike. After that epiphany, I decided to just take the game back to basics with a classic level select and semi-linear progression like you might see in Super Mario World or something. Although I did have a bit of an ulterior motive when making this game. As you hone that combat skill, you may find yourself getting a little bit better at typing while you do it. That's right, I am trying to brainwash you with typing skills. Now, obviously this game won't magically make you a typing savant, like how playing Just Dance isn't going to get you into the Russian ballet. You're gonna have to play Street Fighter 2 Turbo for that. But Keyboard Warrior will definitely get you to think about the keyboard in a different way and force you to familiarize yourself with all of the keys without looking down. But if you're already good at that, don't expect to just breeze through this thing either. Fighting with a keyboard is still a hell of a lot different than typing with one. There are 4 other areas in the game that are way weirder than the forest, along with 7 unique boss fights and over a dozen unlockable magic items, but I'll leave that for you to discover on your own when you play the game for yourself. Keyboard Warrior is on Steam right now, and it's probably on sale for like $4 when you're watching this video, so it'd mean a lot to me if you'd give it a shot. Me and my pals worked real hard on this one, and honestly, I think it's our best game yet, but if you end up hating it anyways, just refund it, baby. Alright, that's it from me. Catch you on the keyboard, warrior.